Hello everyone, it's Zanrel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing 10 tips for new players starting out on the semi-vanilla survival server, Simplex. Starting off with tip number 1 is read the rules. A lot of the time when I'm perched on top of the rooftops of many of the buildings at spawn, new players just walk straight out of the spawn room. If you want to stay here long term, do yourself a favor and just read them. It takes a minute to read, and there's only 11 of them. Alright, tip number 2, do not X-ray. Doing so violates rule number 5 of no cheating. I bring this up because I believe it to be the most common rule I see broken on the server. Getting rich quick by X-raying for diamonds or anything else is a shortcut to a ban. Even if you don't get caught when you're a low-ranking player, it hurts when you see a up-and-coming player get caught for something they did weeks, months, or even years ago. Living with the fact that you X-rayed and didn't get caught yet gets worse with time. Please do not do it. Next up is tip number 3, vote. When you type /vote, you'll get 2 links to 2 voting websites. When you click those 2 links to the websites, it will open up in your internet browser where you put your username, do a reCAPTCHA, and click submit. The top link has a cooldown of 24 hours, while the bottom one has one of 12. When you first join as starter rank and you keep voting, you get more rewards and ranks, which act as milestones for you to achieve. The biggest benefit has got to be the extra homes you get to set, which I will touch on in a future tip. Alright, enough on voting, on to tip number 4. Check the spawn chests. Outside the spawn room to the left, past the lectern, there is community chests, which you can freely loot. What's usually put in there is usually junk, but you'd be surprised sometimes. Check back here periodically if you want to get some free goodies, especially when you're first starting out with nothing. Tip number 5 is use the random teleport pad. It is the best way to get out into the world to start your base. I don't think it's common, but it's ill-advised to find land for your base by walking from spawn. Just use the teleport pad to get out into the wild quickly. If you don't like where you've been taken, just type /spawn and walk over the pad again until you find a place you like. Tip number 6 is /set home. I've had enough of new players losing their homes because they didn't take a moment to type this simple command. When you find a place to settle down, type /set home and name it something like new base. Now, whenever I walk over here and type /new base, I get teleported back to the spot I set a home. This is very useful not only for recalling back to your base, but also for points of interest like villages, ocean monuments, or anything else you find interesting. Coming up is tip number 7, don't build close to others. You are not allowed to build within 50 blocks of another player's claim or build, even if that player hasn't been on for a very long time. That limit increases depending on the size, so it's 100 blocks for medium-sized builds and 150 for large ones. When you build too close to someone, they will usually send a mail for you to move. If you don't move, then they will take it up to staff, and then they will be on you. And they will usually side with the player that was there first. So please, unless you are with a friend, don't build close to anybody. You're going to waste your time moving all your stuff away from someone else, all because you built too close to someone. Tip 8, we have explore around your base. Before you even claim a spot to build your base, at least scout around the surface of the world and see where your neighbors are. Where they are and their claims are going to determine where you're going to be able to expand in the future. The worst case is that you claimed in an area that has many other claims and you can't expand at all because you're boxed in. That can be avoided by scouting around the area you're interested in and making your base before you start claiming. Tip 9 is claim your stuff. You finally get to learn why claiming is so important. When you type /kit claim, you'll get a golden shovel and a stick. When you right click with the stick, it will show if the block you're aiming at is claimed by another player. If not, then you can equip your handy dandy golden shovel and start claiming land to protect your things. You do that by right-clicking on the ground to specify one corner of the claim you want to create. The second right-click will create the other corner of the claim, just like that. Now this area is claimed. Nothing inside of it can be destroyed or looted by other players or mobs. This isn't a full claiming tutorial, but I'd like to mention that as you vote for the server and get more claim blocks and set homes, you can right-click the corners of the claim and expand it. Last tip is tip number 10, establish yourself in the community. What do you want players on the server to know you for? There are many routes to take. Map art is one of the easiest, but others include running or participating in community events, running a shop, and building things. Whatever you do, build up a reputation. You won't regret it. That is all my tips for you. I hope any new players watching this will find my tips useful to them. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all on Simplex. Xanarl signing off.